All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. Oh man, my wife fixed the mic. I was freaking out. I could not do it again for a few days. So excited to do this one. We're going to look at Tilray. I have to throw OGI second, all right? And then I will cover the rest basically, right? So interesting things happening on Tilray, all right? I don't even know where to start, and obviously there's a bunch of details I will go over in a second, right? But the moving averages went from this real bad slope down to what's really starting to look horizontal. And man, this support line did the job. All right. So I'll talk about this Friday day. I don't think I covered the weed in a minute. I got really sick. But yeah, this 190 line is just crazy. And a bunch of stuff down here I want to talk about as well, right? Especially volume as I look at it. OGI has been in beast mode for a bit. And I don't think that there is a better stock that I can talk about the 8 and the 20 moving average on, all right? I use these two lines on, it doesn't matter what the sector is, doesn't matter if you're 3 letters, 4 letters, or 5 letters, right? So it's a really, really good example of how the 8 and the 20 go. Let me just flash it real quick, and then obviously I'll talk about it a bit more, right? But I mean, you bounce on the 8, you lose the 8, but then the 20 saves you, and then you go back up, right? Like that's what the 8 and the 20 are supposed to do, right? So it's a lovely thing when they're both your friends, right? So that's what we're trying to do here, obviously. So before I go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There's generally more. Yeah, there's a couple as I zoom out, right? But there are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to this channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad. Look, anything you can do helps me so much with these YouTube algorithms, but for real, just being here, giving me your time, oh man, I'm so grateful for it, all right? So let's get into Tilray, okay? And I started the video by saying there's so much I want to talk about, right? I'm going to talk about down here since I mentioned this up here, all right? So volume is king. All right. I say it all the time. I know it's on the bottom of these 3, but man, volume. All right. It's like location when you talk real estate, right? Like, doesn't matter if the stock is great. If you don't got volume, what are you going to do, right? Doesn't matter if your home is beautiful. If it's located right in the middle of a cow farm and it smells like doo-doo all day, oh, who wants that house, right? If you don't got the volume, you don't got the location. You know what I mean? So this applies to when things go down just as much as it when it goes up, all right? Tilray, I said it here. I got a little worried, and then right away my worry went away. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about volume, right? So on the big drop that came Tuesday the 9th because of earnings, volume spiked. But instead of it continuing to grow, it gradually went down, all right? The drop happened, but hey, I'm telling you, if volume was stronger, the drop would have been steeper and worse, okay? We're still down, don't get me wrong, right? But there were moments, this is a really good example, this 31st, where we get 2 really bad, scary candles under the 8 moving average. It happens right again on this, Friday and Monday the 5th as well, right? But there were moments where it looked like we were ready to lose the 8. We were ready to go below all 5 and die, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, die. So there was worry. We had negative MACD. We had an odd RSI, I'll say that, right? But end of the day, it didn't have crazy volume. And though it looked like it was starting to pick up, hey, it never did. It went back down to going down, right? And I think the fact that none of these big, scary, like well over the white 50-day average, none of those happened here. None of those really picked up on the 2 days. Look at it. Both the days that went under weren't crazy volumes. They actually weren't, right? So, and the day after, it was actually green over the 50-day, right? So the saves actually had better volume. And I mean, end of the day, you can't go up and you really can't go down unless you've got good volume, all right? So the lack of volume was a good thing here, okay? Next thing we're going to do is come up here. Look, I do not pretend to be a stock guru, let alone do I pretend to be the smartest guy in the room, all right? It is actually one of my Discord rules, all right? Like, what number is it? Right here. Number 3 of 5, okay? I am not the best one in this group, all right? I have not been for a while, and I mean, it's a very, very honest thing. I say there are some amazing traders that are part of this little chart reader family we're all a part of, right? So ask questions, man. People well beyond me are really good in the comments. Like, you will get some really cool... Okay, I'm digressing. I apologize, all right? Look, what was the point of that? I forgot. Oh, wow, that was real dumb. All right, let's get back into... oh, yeah, that's what the joke was. So, look, I'm not like a math dude, all right? I don't know the math behind this, right? Like, I don't know what the 8 is going to open on Monday. Theoretically, I can do it, right? Like, there's a mathematical formula for the moving averages. I'm using an 8 simple. Do the math on the closes of the last 8 days and you'll know what Monday's dot's going to be, right? What I do is I look at the slope, all right? Because that's just, that's simple for me, right? And that is a real steep I want to come down. Look at the 20. That's a real steep I want to come down, all right? All of a sudden, and I'm going to delete this 190 line. I'll redraw it though, because you know I think it's important, all right? All of a sudden, we go from crazy, like from this, to a little less crazy. It's now a little more flat, right? To now, all of a sudden, it looks like we're flattening out. And I mean, this is the point where we either start making our way up or... I mean, I've seen it a bunch of times, right? Like, we can see it right here. It goes down, it goes flat, and then it drops hard, all right? Like, you know I'm not here to be a fanboy, right? I've been positive for a minute. I keep saying as long as we don't touch this, I'm still overall bullish, right? I'm very interested to see what's going to happen, all right? This is a golden cross, but again, I don't know if it really is or not. Again, the 50 technically did go above a bigger one. So when that happens, that's a golden cross right there, right? I don't know if the 20 is going to follow suit and go up and like all of a sudden this 100 keeps going down. Both of those, these two down here, golden. I don't know, right? I think for me, 202 becomes a very important line. Now, it isn't a crazy distance between there and the 200. It is all about getting over that for me, all right? But I think the really big positive is the 8 isn't screaming, I want to keep going down, I want to keep going down. It's actually saying, I think I want to flatten out. And really quickly, the 20 kind of agreed, right? Now, again, the 20's what, roughly 3 weeks behind? Lo and behold, right, roughly 3 weeks ago, that happened right there, right? So 20's kind of following, all right? Hopefully the 8 can kind of keep going up, and then hopefully that'll kind of go suit with it, right? Again, I'm not here pretending I know the math. That's just how I look at these lines and try to predict where they're going to move, all right? One more time, let me at least do this. Let's redraw that 190 line. It looks like it's basically right there. Not too shabby a click. To me, we're still under all the moving averages, right? We are still very dependent on this 190 support line, right? And we really, really need to close over 195, okay? From there, I mean, again, I kind of said it earlier, 202 is probably the comfort zone line. I don't think I would touch Tilray till 211. There's just way too many moving averages right here to really feel comfortable, okay? Again, the focus seems to be on the American side, right? It is what it is, and I think a lot of that is, you know, the DJ30 just pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. It is the S&P 500 just pushing and pushing and cracking 5. I mean, you know, this is silliness in some ways, right? there's a lot of reasons to look at the U.S. more than you know, our northern neighbors, right? So I think it makes sense right now. I still think Tilly is the volume, like not the volume, the technical king. All right. So just because the crown is moving for the moment, I'm not here breaking that thought in my head yet. Again, I've had a bunch of people disagree with that thought. I love it, right? Like I love that people disagree with me. I'm telling you, like that's how we all get better, right? So yeah, get over 211. I don't think there's too much to talk about on the MACD and RSI. Obviously, it's in the negative. It kind of looks like it's a bad divergence. I think I see red over green. I'm looking at it over there. Yeah, you can see it. The red average 5 is a bigger number than the green RSI 14, right? So the red is obviously over the green in this little area right here, okay? So again, to me though, both the MACD negative and this flat RSI are a little less important than this volume, all right? I believe one big bad red volume day, or let's not go that extreme, or even something like this, one really good green volume day is going to dictate what actually happens. Like something needs to significantly break this 50-day average to really just show what the truth is here, all right? I mean, end of the day, and I'm going to talk about it a good amount on this next one that we talk about, it gets really difficult to get over the 8 and the 20, all right? Oh, I got to take this. Give me 1 second. I got to pause this. Okay, I am back. I think I had a good place to end it on the daily. Let's take a look at the weekly real quick. Nothing too big to add, I would say. Again, you can see it. Even the weekly volumes aren't going crazy, right? Look, we have been under on the weekly. We didn't quite confirm. We stayed under on the weekly. When I say under, I mean under all 5 of the moving averages, right? We stayed under, and then we went doji. We still haven't confirmed losing all the moving averages on the weekly yet, all right? Next week, I mean, I just said 202 on the daily, right? We must, now I'm going to use the word must, all right? I really think we must close at 197 or higher by Friday. All right, because again, this is the weekly chart. The weekly single candle moves up and down until Friday. It says it's done. All right, so one more time, I at least need like 198, right? 19, because it looks like it's still going to go down. That's why I at least said 197. I don't think it's going to stay completely horizontal there. But yeah, 197, 19. Give me just a penny over that 20 moving average on Friday to believe, because honestly, the growing concern maintains coming to the low 180s, then the 170s, then that 160s, then that scary 150 line I'm not talking about just yet. I don't even think I've drawn it. I don't think I drew it, right? No, not just yet. We're not there yet, all right? One last thing. Okay, 2 last things. The Germany stuff, okay? I'm seeing a lot of the comments about Germany. Look, the big thing that we confirmed, and when I say we, I mean we as a team. It was a bunch of viewer comments, and everybody kind of like added to it, right? There for sure is a vote in Germany this month, all right? I don't know if it's happened yet or not, but the real legalization will not happen until April, okay? Please throw it in the comments if I'm wrong here, right? But April is the legalization timing, okay? So I mean, unless you're a long-term holder, right? Like I'm a daily and weekly kind of guy, right? Like unless you're planning on holding for months to years, right? April's a long way away from this early February that we're in right now, okay? So just keep that in your mind. But hey, yeah, maybe a nice vote in that Germany, preliminary. I don't even know what the word is, right? I'm not even trying to pretend I know. But yeah, hopefully the goal was that this February vote is indicative of what ultimately happens in April, all right? But yeah, that's the Germany news. Let me know if I'm wrong. The second thing that I wanted to say, I think I forgot. Dang. Yeah, I think I forgot. All right, I forgot. End of the day, that's good. I like this Tilray analysis. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. Even if you disagree, you know that, all right? Otherwise, oh my. All right, there is so much to like on OGI, and actually I want to zoom in. I want to go away from that single outlier. Let's look at this volume right here. All right, this is a beautiful chart. This is a stock that is riding the 8 and the 20 up like a champ. I say it on every, I mean, these two lines are your best friend or your worst enemy. All right. And OGI knows when this thing, like, look, this entire 2023 calendar, I shouldn't say until November basically, but from January, you can even say from last December, from December 22 all the way through November, with a couple outliers, right? I'm not saying that there aren't little baby outliers, right? But we have been well under the 8 and the 20. You just cannot get over the 8. Maybe you can get to the 20, you go back under. Maybe you can get to the 20, you go back under. Maybe you can get to the 20, go back under. And you just stay under forever and ever until one day you don't. All right. And until one day, all of a sudden, that line that you couldn't get over, all of a sudden, it's really hard to get below it. And hey, when you do, looky, the 50's right there to help it. 50, and then all of a sudden, it's right. When the 8 and the 20 are your friends, great things can happen. And hey, lo and behold, the 50 does a little bit of work itself there, right? So I just want to just outside of OGI itself, man, this is why I love my lines, right? I am not here pretending these are the best 5. I am not pretending that these are better than like Fibonacci or Bollinger Bands or like this indicator or that, right? Like, this is just what I'm comfortable with, okay? So now let's talk about OGI. Man, I am, oh, there's an earthquake in LA right now. There's an earthquake for sure. That wasn't too bad. I mean, our house says, okay, my recording's still going on. My house, actually, we bought it and they did like foundational set, seismic?
Yeah, seismic.
All right, I'm going to pause this, my wife. Give me a sec. Oh man, that's what happens when you talk about moving averages. The ground shakes. Yeah, okay, hey, I'm all good. It was in Malibu. I am not close enough to Malibu, I will tell you that. So, yeah, that was exciting. Okay, so back to just the stock itself, right? Because we just finished talking about the moving averages. So the one thing I love, and I'm going to zoom back in. So no, actually, this isn't a bad zoom. Look, the 50-day average, and I'm not going to count this. It might be close to 50 days, but it probably isn't, right? But when you get one crazy outlier, all of a sudden what it's going to do is make that white line go up, right? And when the white line, when the 50-day average is just a little too high, how are you going to hit that line? When you were literally unviewable before, one crazy one, and then back to that same little unviewable, it gets a little hard, right? So what happened was the line was too high, Oh, that's where that big crazy outlier just drops. And hey, we're now back in a nicer little place with volume. And look, while we were going up, again, you know it, we just talked about it, we were not really hitting the 50-day average, right? I actually just talked about this on the TLRY one about volume being king, all right? But it's still going up, yeah, but the volume isn't doing it. Once the volume starts to be able to do it, and what does that mean? That means green volume candles breaking that white line. Oh, you get that, all right? What I love is that's a beautiful divergence in a positive area. That's still green over that. I meant the MACD on the last one. The RSI is still green over red at a very, very, very healthy 64. There's still a lot OGI wants. This thing wants to fill this red slide with a green like escalator, right? This thing wants 256. If this thing breaks 256, it will want, I mean, at least 280-ish. Maybe even that, 297. I think 297 looks a little bit better. I think I like that double hit right there. 294. I mean, this thing looks like it's hungry. We are now golden crossing the 50 over the 200. I love it. We're now seeing the 100 just starting to curl up as well. That's gonna golden cross it. I mean, let's just say by the end of next week or early 2 weeks from now, man. Oof, OGI, my. Look at this 294 line, right where that 100 moving average line is. I love it, dude. This thing wants 294. This thing does want 294. I like my lines that I drew too. They line up very well on this weekly chart. Look at that. MACD is now positive on the weekly. I'm loving it. Loving it. Good divergence too. You can zoom in and see those are going away from each other. Love it. Ah, yeah, OGI. There's still a lot more going on here. I'm loving this thing. All right, hopefully you are too. Been bullish on this thing for a minute now too. My goodness. Love it. Yo, I am still loving it too, is I think the biggest part of it, all right? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. Let's take a look at CGC. So CGC, I was expecting a little bit more of a crazy day today. CGC dropped their earnings today. I have absolutely no idea what the earnings were. I didn't even look at the headlines if you really want to know the truth, all right? I have been. First of all, no, I was going to say something negative, but let me say something positive. I've been talking about this 455 line, I mean, for what feels like a month and a half now. The strength of this 455 support is amazing. Obviously, we've lost it. Obviously, it was as fast as I expected it down to this 405, right? But my goodness, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 full complete saves before we lost it on the sixth one. Like, that's incredible. I'm telling you. To me, the fact that like this was a 1, 2, 3, 4 takeoff on the fifth. I expect this thing to get lost on the third, maybe even lost on the fourth. So the fact that it did it, I mean, I am shocked. I have to very, very much give this 455 line a lot of respect. Okay. That said, I have been saying for the entire time since this 1 to 10 reverse split, reverse splits are death. They are generally continual deaths until something amazing happens. Reverse splits, just, I know, I'm telling you, I know that we're seeing a lot of stocks doing well after reverse splits. I'm not pretending I'm not seeing it. However, to me, those are outliers. Those are not sustainable over your career. Those are just once in a whiles, all right? And to me, this is what normal looks like. Took a lot longer because of the strength of this, but we never got over the 8 and the 20. And until we did, I wasn't ready. I know I saw this day, and I'm pretty sure I made a video on this day or the day. It needed to confirm. We were over, couldn't confirm. We were over, couldn't confirm. We went back down. We were over the 8, couldn't confirm. Over the 8, couldn't confirm. Over the 8, not a great candle by any means. Over the 8 and the 20, back to where we were, right? So you can't let one single day do it. This was a bad day. That was a second bad confirmation. And now look, we are at 405. We are at 405. I know that is not all-time lows. I know that the lowest it's actually been on a close is down here at 3 something. The actual lowest is this wick right here. Oh, I gotta pause this again. I'm sorry. 1 second. Okay, sorry about that, earthquake. Yes, so again, CGC, man, we are now at the 405 line, and though it is not the true all-time low, which is what? What's that wick right there? 346. To me, this 405 line matters way, way, way more than any of the other lines below it. Like maybe 390 will do something. To me. If you lose 405, you're going deep into all-time lows. You really, really need to do what happened here. You really, really need CGC to get back over 455. We already know how strong that line is, and hopefully that line will help it up, all right? My concern is it will become a difficulty to get over, all right? And if we don't soon enough, this is a line from the reverse split from the previous day, so I want to get rid of that. 311 means nothing to me. we are very, very close to the black hole abyss that is all-time lows. All right, so this is a 25-minute video on three tickers. I think I gotta cut it off here. There's a little too much happening, but CGC, this scares me. Sorry, I clicked on the wrong thing. On the weekly, obviously, if you're under all the moving averages on the daily, you're going to be under all the moving averages on the weekly. This just screams. What line are you? 392. I think 390 is the last prayer for CGC. All right. After that, it becomes 20% loss after 20% loss after 20% loss. That is what all-time lows does. All right. So, hey, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. Otherwise, as always, thank you.